talking about the trade deadline. My wife out here talking about she's gonna trade me. I'm in my closet right now. I don't know what this means, but I'm going to go over what every MLB team needs to do at the deadline. Let's start with the fact that 51% of viewers aren't subscribed yet. So if you enjoy the videos, consider hitting that button if you haven't yet, as the Dodgers need bullpen, and more bullpen. And while they're at it, you thought I was going to say bullpen too again. No, they could use a starter. Not necessarily a bona fide ace. They don't need to go crazy with any trades and give up too much. But maybe get a guy like Sandy Alcantara from the Marlins, someone who's not having a good season, so his stock is lower. It's the perfect low-risk, high-reward scenario that can help a Dodger team that can use any healthy pitching they can get. Scratch that. Any somewhat healthy pitching. You don't even need to be 100%. Hell, you don't even need to be 70%. Hell, can you throw a ball? We want you. Dodgers need more of that. Staying in the NL West, the Giants, who have been having a real rough time lately, I would say should trade for a bat, but they already did for Rafael Devers. Like, it doesn't get much bigger than that, literally and figuratively. And Devers has started off, I don't even want to say slow. He's been solid so far as a Giant, just not what he was in Boston yet. But it's also been about 10 minutes since he's got there, so it's more about the other guys to step up, like Willy Adames, for example, who has stepped up. He's had an elite July. Devers must have given him some sort of touch. That sounds creepy, but hey, whatever works. Giants are still losing a lot lately, though, so what do? Well, as much as it sucks, I really don't think they need to add much, because the way the Giants are right now, the way I see it, whether they make trades or not, they're going to end up in the same spot. Where that spot is, we'll find out. But this team really seems to have what they need. Like, they have solid pitching. They have an offense that's been improving. It's a team that, as much as they've been losing lately, I can see them flipping that. So after the Devers trade, I don't think there's anything too essential with the boys over in the gay Holy Land. I think it's more about just winning with what they already got. There's not one or two guys that they can add that would like change everything. They're too talented on its own already to not be better. The Padres, I talked about this in a recent video. They need to buy and sell. Trade anyone who's not under contract beyond this year, like Dylan Cease or Michael King, if not both, and replace them with a Sandy Alcantara type, low risk, high reward. This team is either going to go on a nice run and shock some people or completely fall off the map, and either way, it's not worth doing anything too drastic to hurt your future. Arizona, as much as I hate to say this, seems pretty obvious they gotta sell. I would have loved to see this team compete. I love Ketel Marte, love Eugenio Suarez, Geraldo Perdomo, etc. And yeah, I don't think anyone has a problem with their offense unless they hate good things. They probably also hate Madea movies. I get it. You have bad taste. Don't project that onto the smart people. It's the pitching that keeps holding them back. It's what prevented them from making the playoffs last year and what will this year. So you got to make trades for pitching, and more pitching. And they already have. They traded Josh Naylor for 2 pitchers. Great move. Keep doing that. If I were them, no matter what happens to Suarez, I'd definitely try to re-sign him next year. In fact, that's where most of this team's money should be going. No more big contracts to pitchers. That's clearly not really working out for you. Give that to the guys with the big wood instead. Then there's the Rockies. Okay, so over to the AL West now, I'll acknowledge the Rockies. It's pretty obvious, just trade as many guys as you can for value. They traded away Ryan McMahon to the Yankees for 2 pitchers, so yeah, just do more of that. The Astros and the AL West are like the Giants in a sense of whether they make a trade or not, the outcome will be somewhat the same. This team has mostly of what it already needs, just win. And they have been doing that lately, other than when they face the A's, then they look like a little league team. So maybe just refuse to play the A's the rest of the year and you'll be okay. Seattle, they already traded for Josh Naylor. Great move. Can't believe I'm saying this, but maybe another pitcher. Their offense has already been the problem, but this year it's been much better. Again, they already added another bat. And with the injuries they've had to the pitching, maybe add a pitcher. Go even harder on what's supposed to be the strength of your team. Bottom line is Mariners have potential to go on a crazy run, and either they'll end up missing out by a couple games like they have the last couple years or decide to be exciting again. Your choice. The Rangers, at a bat. I love what this team has been doing lately. They seem to be making the decision to be good, which is fun. The pitching's been on that energy all year. The offense is what's been needing to get going. And as many improvements have been coming lately, they still should add another hitter. Angels, pretty obvious, just gotta sell. They're better than I thought they'd be, but when what I thought they'd be was tremendously in the trenches, down bad, being better than that is still in a bad spot. Make trades and just get prospects. A's, same thing, but don't trade anyone too young. A's actually have a lot of potential moving forward, so maybe trade Luis Severino, who who hates being on this team. If there's anyone to trade, it's guys like him, but especially all the young hitters. Yeah, you got a good future. Play it easy. Don't do anything that insane. The Marlins have completely taken a 180 from looking like a really bad team to suddenly a good team. Will they make the playoffs this year? No, but this is obviously a great sign for the future, for the very near future. So sell, but soft sell. Nothing too drastic. I mentioned other teams getting Sandy Alcantara. So obviously, I think they should probably trade him. But then again, his stock is low. So other teams wouldn't have as much of a problem trading for him because they wouldn't have to give up as much compared to when he was like a Cy Young Award winner. But from the Marlins' perspective, will they want to do that? Bottom line is this team is looking a lot more exciting now. So yeah, the Nationals should trade Mackenzie Gore and get as much as humanly possible. The only untouchable player in Washington, D.C. should be James Wood. Anyone else is open for business. This franchise hasn't budged since 2020. They've consistently been shitty. They already fired their manager and general manager. So it's already clear it's time to shake things up. Atlanta, wow, did not expect them to be this bad. Nobody did. Holy shit. Yeah, I'd still go with a buy and sell approach because they can be good next year. On paper, they're just too good not to at least be better than what they are, which I guess it's not asking for a lot, but I think they could be a good team next year. So make some trades to help for the future, but nothing too extreme like trading Acuna or some shit. That'd be crazy. The Phillies need bullpen help. Pretty simple. By far the weaker part of an overall strong team. Add a bona fide stud back there because even though Jose Alvarado will be coming back soon, he's ineligible for the postseason. So go get a guy. Feel like the Mets are pretty set. Yeah, I could use some help. Any team can, but they don't need to do anything too drastic that can hurt their future. Their team is already really strong in every way. I'd say if anything, add a starter, an ace that just pushes them even more over the top. Now over to the AL East. Boston. Get at least a starter and a reliever. That's ideal. They have been rumored to trade for Yandy Diaz, though, from the Rays, who have been struggling lately. The team, not Yandy. He's great. So they're now looking to probably sell. So from a Rays point of view, I think that'd be smart. Trade away anyone who's not locked in for that many years while the Red Sox getting Yandy. I'd love that. Yandy has another year beyond this one under contract. The Red Sox don't seem very confident in committing to Tristan Casas as their first baseman. My question is for this year, what they do with the platoon situation they got going on over there with Abraham Toro and Roby Gonzalez. You don't trade for Yandy Diaz to platoon him. Bro doesn't care if the pitcher is lefty, righty, throws with his foot somehow, Yandy will hit no matter what, because that's what Yandy does. So I would assume they'd trade one of, if not both those guys to the Rays. I mean, they'd love utility guys like that. As for the Yankees, pack it in, season's over, you suck. Just kidding, not really, but they're not going to sell. So the biggest thing they need is another starter and reliever. Both of those are just too unreliable with health. Max Fried and Carlos Rodon are the only trustworthy guys right now in the rotation. I mean, one of the guys they're currently relying on is named Cam Schittler. They literally have a guy whose name sounds like Hitler and shit at the same time. That's how you know they need more pitching. And the bullpen could use another guy. I could use whatever drugs these guys are on because... yeah. Oh, and by the way, in hindsight, Emmanuel Clase ain't going nowhere, but now the bird teams. Something I realized and found interesting looking at the AL East standings was if you told me this was what the standings would look like back in spring training, but flip the Blue Jays with the Orioles, I'd believe you. But flip them back to reality hits like a freaking train. Insane to think about the opposite seasons the bird teams have had from what anyone expected. Orioles obviously need to just sell, but nothing too crazy because they can be good next year. They just need as much pitching as they can get. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays can use more pitching, less desperately than the Orioles, obviously, but they can use another starter / reliever. And, well, they got one from the Orioles. Baltimore just traded Sir Anthony Dominguez, so there you go. The Cubs are in the same boat. They can use another frontline starting pitcher and reliever. Their offense is stupid. No issues detected there, but they should make a trade for a pitcher, and they've been linked to several, while the Brewers are the opposite. They can use a hitter. A Eugenio Suarez would be awesome. The Reds have been having a pretty decent year. That can turn into something good. It's just been understandably so overshadowed by the Cubs and Brewers whooping so much ass. But the Reds still can be dangerous. They have a really solid team all around that now add another bat and bullpen arm. Everyone talking about those two teams at the top, but the Reds could sneak up on them. Yandy Diaz has been rumored. Maybe they can get one of the only good Rockies hitters. Maybe a reunion with Suarez, who was with them for 7 years at one point. We'll see. Cardinals gotta sell. They're not awful, admittedly better than I thought they'd be this far into the season, but I just went over 3 teams that are better than them in their own division. Trade away some veterans, build for the future. Pirates, obviously, same thing. I do think everyone in this organization deserves a beating for continuing to fail Andrew McCutcheon and now Paul Skeens. On Kutch, though, for real, dating advice for all you watching: if he or she doesn't treat you the way Andrew McCutcheon treats the Pirates, they ain't the one. That's true loyalty right there. The Tigers seem interested in one of the Pirates relievers, David Bednar. Tigers don't seem to be wanting to do anything too drastic, which I don't think is even a bad thing. They have been really struggling lately and can use help, but no need to bomb your farm system for said help. Go get a reliever, maybe another decent starter to help behind Scooble. As for Cleveland, I did see one of the more insulting things I've ever laid my eyes on by someone on Twitter, which, I mean, yeah, water wet. Saying I went to Twitter and found something stupid is like saying I went to a Charlie XCX concert and found white women on cocaine. What else would you expect? But this dude had the audacity to say the Brewers should trade for Jose Ramirez. I'm not even a Brewers fan, but on behalf of the entire fan base, of the entire city, of the entire state of frickin' Wisconsin, I'm sorry, Cleveland. I'm sorry, Jose. Oh my God, that made me so offended. And I have no connection to either side. All I know is Jose Ramirez is a Cleveland Indian and guardian angel for life. I mentioned how loyal Andrew McCutcheon is to Pittsburgh. J-Ram is that, but even more so to Cleveland. What a guy. Cleveland did lose 2 of 3 to the Royals over the weekend, and as much as they've fought back to get to 500, this just doesn't seem like a team to go all in, but also not want to be all out on. Just like the Royals, both teams are in very similar situations. Buy and sell. Work toward a better future, but keep things open enough to where you could go on a sneaky run this year. It's what the Tigers did last year, and it worked out. Cleveland needs hitting, same with Kansas City, but not a guy like Suarez, who's a rental. Both teams need hitting who is guaranteed beyond just right now, while the White Sox just need everything. Obviously, full on sell mode, just continue to trade for the future, and the Twins should be in the same boat now, which sucks. I hate that a healthy Byron Buxton being awesome is being wasted, but it is what it is. Not that they'll trade him. Buxton himself even said he's a Twin for life. Shout out to him. Again, love the loyalty. But trading away guys like Joe Ryan or Yohan Duran to get assets for the future ain't a bad idea, because this team just ain't going anywhere in the present. So there we have it. Let me know your thoughts on what should happen at the deadline. I'll also be going live on deadline day, which is Thursday. So if you want, go be there. Thank you for watching. Love you. Bye.